What's up, guys? I hope you're well. Today we're checking out 7 strangest F1 sponsors. That's a mouthful, hard to get out a little bit. Let's get into it, shall we?
Sponsorship and Formula One are inextricably entwined, as companies are drawn to the glamour and the engineering prowess of the top level of motorsport. And although it's evolved beyond the idea of paying for livery space, with teams now drawn into the complex world of technical partnerships and case study development,
God, this guy's microphone's terrible. It's like picking up and all that stuff. Wow. And it's like, it sounds like he's eating it too. Jeez.
it's still nonetheless interesting to watch new sponsors try their luck in Formula One. Lots of well-known multinational companies get involved, as do lots of brand new companies looking to make their presence felt. But sometimes, companies with a very strange backstory rock up and make an impact, for better or for worse. Here's a list of some of Formula One's weirdest sponsors and the story behind their time in the championship.
Bro, you're a little
T-. First of all, let's start our countdown
There we
with,
go.
well, a glorified countdown. Back in the late 1990s, Tom Walkinshaw's takeover of the Arrows team wasn't exactly delivering the success he'd anticipated. The big money signing of Damon Hill lasted just a year, while star designer John Barnard was unable to pen a car that the team could get a tune out of. The in-house TWR engine project was also bearing no fruit, and with the departure of title sponsor Danker at the end of 1998, Arrows had a hole to fill financially. Drivers Pedro De La Rosa and Toru Takagi had brought some money, and the Repsol and PIAA backing filled a lot of the 1999 car. But a curious
good.
countdown also appeared on the side pods at the
That's real
first race.
good.
Enter Prince Malik Ado Ibrahim,
God,
a
dude,
Nigerian prince who had come to Arrows with the promise of milk, honey, and all of the riches a team could possibly want, namely $125 million.
Wow.
That was his promise, and the plan was to fund it with his T- brand, to which numerous product manufacturers, from energy drinks to clothes, could buy in and license their product with the name, benefiting from the exposure that being linked to Arrows would provide. Although many expected the countdown to lead to a big sponsorship deal, the T- idea caused a bit of a stir, as did Prince Malik when he leaned into the attention that being part of the F1 circus can provide. But ultimately, no money was forthcoming. Equity firm Morgan Grenfell had been the guarantor for the deal and later sued Arrows to reclaim payments, so T- arguably caused the team major issues in the future.
Wow.
Moneytron. A sponsor that sounded like a wealthy transformer, Moneytron overtly adorned the Little Onyx team's car in 1989,
Doesn't
bringing
sound
pink
good.
trim to the blue and white machine as the team geared up for its first Formula One season. Bankrolled by Jean-Pierre Van Rossum, a Belgian economist, Moneytron was an alleged supercomputer that could predict stock market fluctuations and foreign exchange rates, kept behind a secret door in Van Rossum's offices. Brought to the team by driver Bertrand Gachot, who was required to fund his race seat, Van Rossum immediately shook up the F1 paddock. Distinguishable by his long grey hair and chin-strap beard, he didn't look like a conventional team principal, but he had managed to get multiple investors on side to fund his empire, and by association, the Onyx team. And while the team managed a podium in its maiden season, by virtue of Stefan Johansson's third place at Estoril, Van Rossum walked away at the end of the season, having become disillusioned with the running costs of a Formula One team. Losing out on a Porsche engine deal didn't exactly help either. Known as a particularly volatile and flamboyant figure, Van Rossum certainly made an impact on Formula One, before being arrested for fraud, as Moneytron proved to be nothing more than a Ponzi scheme. Oh, and the secret door? Rumour has it that that was nothing more than a broom cupboard. Xena Warrior Princess.
Ooh.
I'm not even joking with this one. Back in 1997, Tyrrell was in its penultimate year of Formula One, and was floundering at the back with the likes of Minardi. On that year's 025 car, the team had a rotating cast of minor sponsors to get money through the door. By Silverstone, Tyrrell had struck a deal with Channel 5, which was launched the same year. To get people to click the seldom used fifth button on their remote controls, Channel 5 had bought the rights to air Xena Warrior Princess and decided to advertise that on the car. As a result, the Tyrrell engine cover was emblazoned with a head-to-waist image of
That's
Lucy
horrid.
Lawless as the title character, with her sidekick Gabrielle on the other side. And instead, both Mika Salo and Jos Verstappen toiled with engine trouble, retiring within a lap of each other. Penthouse. In 1976, the Little Hesketh team was in its final
I
days.
love it.
Star driver James Hunt and the team's benefactor Lord Hesketh had
Of
already
course,
walked
Penthouse
away,
went with
and
James
it was up to
Hunt.
those left behind to scrape together the money to go racing. For 76, the team acquired two new major sponsors in Penthouse Magazine and Rizla, the manufacturer of rolling papers.
Jeez.
To marry the two sponsors together, the Hesketh 308D emerged for the season with a full Penthouse model emblazoned on the front,
Oh my god.
scantily clad and holding a Rizla
You
box.
gotta be kidding me.
The Hesketh team had earned a reputation for its Playboy style, and its new livery only enhanced that reputation. The squad retained it for 1977 with a few changes. Now, two more models had been added to the sides of the car. But on track, Hesketh managed no points and bowed out midway through 1978.
Wow.
Penthouse stayed in Formula 1 for a little while longer with RAM and Arrows, but opted for a more muted appearance on those cars. Durex. Rupert Keegan had driven for Hesketh in 1977 with the full Penthouse livery, but then moved to the Surtees team the year after, which had its own controversial sponsor at the time.
It's a condom company.
Today, you
That's
probably
great.
not think too much about a car being sponsored by a condom company, unless you've got the maturity of a 12-year-old and you're chuckling away at the back. But in the 1970s, it was a sort of a big deal. So when the London Rubber Company became the Surtees team's title sponsor in 1976 with its Durex brand, several broadcasting companies took offence to the implications of the livery.
Oh,
Presumably,
God.
it was along the lines of, please, somebody think of the children. But although Surtees
Get
kept the
outta
sponsorship
here.
muted, the BBC packed up its cameras and refused to broadcast races unless the team peeled off its Durex logos.
God,
Team
I
principal
hate
John
BBC.
Surtees stood firm, however, and refused to cave to their demands. Sensibly, the BBC backed down. Durex stuck with the team until the very end, until Surtees pulled out of Formula 1 at the end of 1978. Rich Energy. An energy drink sponsoring a Formula 1 team is not unusual at all.
No,
But the bluster
I mean,
of
Red
Rich
Bull,
Energy
hello.
created a volatile and unusual situation within the Haas team in 2019. Rich Energy originally appeared in a bid to buy the Ailing Force India team, but lost out to Lawrence Stroll in the process. Then, poised to sign a title sponsorship deal with Williams, Rich CEO William Story instead threw his lot in with Gene Haas' eponymous team, meaning the American outfit would turn up in a new black and gold livery for 2019. Although the initial payments were originally made, the situation escalated. Firstly, as Rich Energy was sued by White Bikes for using a logo that bore too close a resemblance. Rich Energy then tweeted that it had ended its sponsorship deal, saying that it terminated its deal with Haas for poor performance, making further disparaging comments about the team. More curiously, Rich's shareholders denied that the tweet had come from them, prompting many to speculate that Story had gone rogue. Haas
Ooh, it
eventually
might have.
terminated the deal in September following defaulted payments, but by then, damage had already been done. HRT's lack of sponsors, 2011. In its second year of Formula 1, the Hispania team, or HRT, struggled to find sponsors for the 2011 season. Although the team had turned out in a neat white and red livery designed by concept artist
nice,
Daniel
I like
Simon,
it.
the team was struggling to fill the space available, save for the Tata logos brought to the team by driver Narain Karthikeyan. So to entice sponsors on board, the team filled the gaps with a swathe of almost cringeworthy slogans, with "This could be you," "This is a cool spot," and "Your logo here," among
Oh
the
my
phrases aiming to
God.
target potential sponsors.
Oh, that's
But
rough.
as the team was A, mired at the back, and B, from a distance the text presumably looked like the sponsors had already filled the space, it wasn't a particularly successful scheme. The team was sold midway through the year, and the
Jeez.
offending text dropped from the livery.
Wow. Interesting. I never knew Penthouse was a sponsor. And Durex, that's great. Oh my gosh. Some of those sponsors are fan-freaking-tastic, man. I wouldn't even call them strange. It's just badass that they sponsored for a little while. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. With that being said, I want to thank you all for watching. Stay safe, and don't forget to wash your hands. Bye.